Greetings, groovy people. Welcome to the channel. I'm the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon, and this week we're starting February off with a project that I actually did back in 2021. Welcome. I hope you're all having a great week. I hope the year is starting out well. Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Groundhog Day. What a silly tradition, Groundhog Day. I mean, I guess as long as the groundhog's not hurt, I don't really give a shit. It's a harmless tradition, but what a really weird thing to base something on. Anyway, whatever. Happy February. February is one of my favorite months. It's the month of love. My birthday was yesterday, so I'm an Aquarius, if you couldn't tell. Not that I don't know that I really believe in that stuff, but I will say I kind of fit a lot of the stereotypes of an Aquarius. My partner doesn't, though. His birthday's in this month as well. George Harrison's birthday was the 25th. My grandma's birthday was in this month. I love February. It was always a kind of a cold month. It oftentimes was one of the colder months, but I loved playing in the snow when I was a kid, so February was always one of my favorite months. So yeah, we're going to start the month off right by talking about a summer project. Just kidding. I've been sitting on this footage for a while. I have so many different videos, just a backlog of things that I want to do and things I want to talk about, but I've been sitting on this footage for a while, so I'm going to just jump into this. This past summer, I participated in an artist market. It was an outdoor event. You know, we did things safely. I had hand sanitizer. I didn't, jump up on people. There was space between us, and of course, I had my mask on. But the last time I actually done an event of this nature was back in 2019, a comic convention. Well, not just comic, but, kind of comic, anime, stuff like that. It was up in Chi-Town. Well, it was in Rosemont. But, yeah, it was at the convention center up there, the Hamster Tube Ball place. So a lot of my art that I was selling is really I want to do a video on this comparing my art before the pandemic to now. But a lot of progress. I mean, I'm not the best artist, but I've made a lot of progress since then. And so I realized that I needed some art to sell at this event that wasn't just my old prints that I'm still trying to get rid of, that I printed myself. I bought the ink, I bought the glossy paper. I'm gonna try to sell them. But I wanted to do some traditional art because I felt that would fit the theme of kind of the craft market that it was. And I am primarily interested in drawing characters, people. Usually I like to draw women. I do need to draw more men. I like drawing men, but I tend to gravitate towards drawing pretty women. So when I signed up for this event, they gave you the opportunity to donate a piece of work for an art raffle they were doing, which was to raise money to give to, I think it had something to do with helping immigrants who were in need. There was a pamphlet. I forgot to grab it, but the proceeds all went to this special thing that I kind of, I agreed with my politics anyway. I like to help people, and I think it had to do with helping out refugees. So I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I don't care what they do with the money as long as they're doing something good with it. So I decided I was going to donate to this raffle thing, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I know that when I came to this drawing, which in the background I'm inking the image that I sketched. The sketch is on the left side. Obviously, you can tell that that was the first version of this that I did, was a character sketch of a woman from a newspaper that was part of some of the protests. Although I made her different. I didn't copy the woman. I needed a reference. So that I could make the character look believable, and then animeize her. Not anime eyes, like I-Z-E, not E-Y-E-S. But anyway, I digress. But I first went to this task because I really want to do something that is Portland. I want to do Portland. And so I took influence from an article I'd read about some of the protests that were going on the year that we first moved out here back in 2020. And then I wanted to incorporate the whole theme of nature and, how beautiful and green it is out here. And I really wanted to make a piece that, to me at least, as an outsider looking in, embodied the whole environment that I feel here in Portland. So I modeled the character off of a native Portlander. So that's kind of what was going on here, and I was like, I really want to make her anime style because that's really my style. I mean, I can do more realistic, but even you can tell the sketch, it was just kind of a quick sketch. It's not perfect, you know, she's not perfect the way I sketched her. I'm saying it as in the drawing, not as the person. But I was like, well, I want to make her anime style because that's what I do. I like the anime influence. So it was kind of an embodiment of things that, you know, influence me, as well as things that I think about with Portland. And I did 2 versions of this image. The one that I donated to the raffle, and then there was one that I still have a hold of that I was planning on selling. I mean, I'm going to sell it eventually, but I really just wanted to do it for fun and for practice. If I wasn't going to sell it, it didn't really matter. So that's the first part of the video, is me working on I'm kind of sketching, kind of inking. What I've done is I had sketched the finished version in my sketchbook, which I'll pop up an image of that. And then on the back, because I don't have carbonless paper, I just like to put graphite on the back of it and then lightly trace over it. And that's what I've done to kind of transpose my finished sketch onto the Bristol board paper that I used. So that's why you can't, it looks like I'm just inking, but I did actually do a sketch first in my sketchbook. I'm gonna do a sketchbook tour sometime soon. I'm not sure when. So the first part of this video is just me inking this character onto some Bristol board, and then I transition into the piece that I ended up donating to the raffle. The title of this is Verdant, for like the color green, again kind of trying to embody a very natural feel. I don't do, like I apparently didn't record coloring the character, but I used Copic markers. It looks a little weird at first, but bear with me. At the end of the video, I'm going to post what the finished version looks like. So just give it some time. Things look weird whenever you're in the process of working on the characters. But I did the character in Copic, Sumi ink, and a little bit of just my gold ink that I have on hand for like her hair pieces. And then in the background, I used a darker green colored ink that I just kind of painted on the background and let dry. And then I dabbed darker bits of that after it dried to kind of look like leaves floating around. And then I finished the piece, which is what you're seeing. I actually had already started on it before I decided, duh, I could record this. What the fuck am I doing? So I took that bright neon green and I wanted it to kind of pop. And I thought that all these earthy colors would really complement each other and really embody what I think of when I think of the city of Portland and the surrounding area and the state of Oregon, particularly like the valley and the mountains and the coast. The other side of the mountains, you know, it's in a rain shadow, so it's more desert, but we've driven through it and it's very pretty as well. There's a bit of sagebrush and stuff, not like a ton, it's not like desert, but I mean, it's not like your stereotypical thought of a desert. There's even like deserts like in Antarctica. It's all just regarding how much precipitation it receives is how a desert is defined, to my knowledge. But I'm not shitting on Eastern Oregon. Sorry, y'all. I'm not. Don't think if you're from Eastern Oregon, I got nothing against y'all over there. The land that you live in is beautiful as well. I'm just doing this because this is the area that I chose to live in. But that's kind of what's going on in this. Wow, this fucking video is just all over the place. I am just spewing out random thoughts. I had no script for this. I'm just kind of talking about stream of conscience That's what we're gonna call this video, stream of conscience. So, is it conscious or conscious? It's conscious. Oh my god, I'm so fucking stupid, y'all. I'm sorry. It won't be the first time Blue Dragon done fucked up on a term, so don't feel... I have no shame, it's okay. But yeah, that's what's going on in the background, just kind of telling you where this image kind of came from and what my goal was with it. This specific piece actually sold at the raffle, so hooray! I'm excited that that happened, and I'm really excited that somebody got to take the piece home, and I hope they're enjoying it, because in next week's video, you're gonna see me working on the frame. I do not frame shit, y'all. I don't usually have a lot of money, but what I ended up doing was, back when I lived in St. Louis, one of our neighbors had thrown out a shit ton of just beautifully framed artwork. And the artwork wasn't really what I liked. There were like some, well, none of that matters. You don't need to know what the art was. It was like watercolors that had gotten rained on and nothing really looked that. I mean, it'd gotten rained on, but the frames were still functional. So my partner comes home and here I am with all these fucking frames and pictures. I dragged him out of the garbage. I am such a trash person, you guys. They didn't call me Trash Lane for nothing. My real name is not Blue Dragon, if you didn't know. But I digress. The other aspect of the whole environmental thing that I was trying to do with this raffle piece was I've been holding on to these frames since my St. Louis, St. Anne days. We lived like just a stone's throw away from St. Louis, so that's why I say St. Louis. But I ended up thinking that this is the perfect opportunity to repurpose this frame. So when I did that piece, I made sure that everything measured out, that I would be able to mat it and actually repurpose this frame that I'd found and sterilized years ago, long before our move. I mean, I've probably had these frames since like 2018. And I was like, this is the perfect way to finish off this piece because it embodies that idea of the environment, of the beauty of nature, and the beauty of the people here in this city. So that was kind of like the idea behind the entire piece. And next week I'm going to show you how I went about formatting this and framing it and everything. I don't know that I would call it so much of a tutorial. Maybe it is, but it's just me kind of fumbling around showing you how I did it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about this. I really liked how the character turned out. I don't really have a name for her. If anybody wants to name her, she's just an original character. It was taking the piece in my own direction to pay homage to Portland. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the piece. That was like the art part. And then next week we'll do the framing part for anyone who's interested in that. I'll see y'all next week. If you like the video, like, sub, do the bell thing, or if you're on BitChute watching this, I guess like the video is all they do. If you want to give me money, you can give me money. If you don't, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. Otherwise, just enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be back next week. Peace and love. Fare you well, and keep on trucking.